Did you know that aliens are already here? Did you know they've been here for a long time? There are many groups and people searching for physical evidence. Do you believe that if a race is advanced enough to come here and show up in a physical body, that they could also hide themselves from us, that they might be right here in front of us and we don't even see them? Do you believe that they're here in our DNA and our physical bodies? That some of us are incarnate from them? That they have been here for millennia, since the beginning of the time? And what are angels? What are some saints, some highly evolved beings? The elementals, the nature spirits, which indigenous people and the Irish know about. The mermaids, there's been documented evidence of mermaids that they're still here. There's been documented evidence of lights, unexplained lights, ships landing, and abductions, people seeing aliens. That's what we're waiting for, most people are waiting for, is the physical 3D evidence that we understand, instead of understanding that they're actually already here, that it's a shift of consciousness that we want to connect with. As we shift our consciousness, we can then and become and get all our 12 strand DNA back. We actually have the ability to see, know, and hear and telepath more than we have been programmed out of. Yes, programmed out of. We are living in a world that is a facade, that is constructed by a few at the top of power, governments, religions. There are some good religious messages. The messages from the original aliens, the angels and the beings that came here to assist us. The Native Americans called them the Kachinas. Many other tribes who could see them and interact with them thought they were gods, spirits. Hindus know of many spiritual beings. So we have been trained by some forms of religion that were the messages that came from the aliens, the guides that were here, have been turned into control or messages of fear, so that a small group of people could control us. And you have been trained to think that psychic abilities are for the few, or crazy, or not real, or weird, or something to be afraid of. In the 1700s, you could be killed or tortured for having your abilities, your intuition. Now we are in, at least still in some ways, we're still legally allowed in America and in some countries to be who we are, to speak the truth, to know the truth. We are awakening from our programming, our dystopian nightmare that these beings have created, that we are powerless, that we need to pay for oil and gas when there's already free energy is already here. We already know how to convert every gasoline car into electric or something even better. We already know that. We already know how to heat homes with solar or wind. We already know that. There is no reason why you should even have to pay for your home. We have a mortgage system set up that makes huge quadruples their profits. So with the insurance company, the big pharma that gives you some drugs that save lives and then some drugs that take care of symptoms but actually give you other serious health concerns. So it's all the banking, the insurance, it's all wrapped up. And some countries in a well-designed plan to control you. And that's what we are awakening from. The control. You actually have more power than you know. You are actually free. You're free to think and believe as you wish. And that's what this new age of Aquarius is about. It's also about technology and being controlled. There are some of those same people that control us want to take over our planet with AI. Without our permission, without our structure. So then what would happen to jobs? What would happen to how would the economy, how would people live if everything was taken over by AI? So they are here. The angels, they are here. I see them all the time. The ascended masters, the beings that have initiated into higher levels, that are here from other places, that are also hybrids. They're mixed with humans. The mermaids in the ocean, the pixies. So there was a woman, Dolores Cannon, who wrote a book, or several books. And she's now deceased, but she wrote several books. She did past life regression, and she regressed people that said they had come in from other planets. Many of you are incarnate from other planets. But the agreement here is on Earth, at least now, is that you have free will, and that when you come into body, you forget who you are. And then it's your journey, because it's Earth school, to learn about who you are and why you are here. We have been in this earth other times before this known history. Some people call that Atlantis, when there were many extraterrestrials here that walked among us that obviously looked extraterrestrial, where we understood, and we have artwork and we have stories about mermaids. Those didn't just come out of someone's imagination. They were actually here. And in the time of Lemuria, I remember my past lives in Lemuria. The Lemurians were very ethical, and they were healers. They were energy-based, and they were here teaching the humans, the younger souls that were just birthed onto this planet, what they were here to teach about how we live here in balance with the environment, in balance with nature, and in balance and harmony with each other without wars. So these higher beings have been coming here, and they still are here. And many people call them guides or guardian angels. There are lower beings here, and that is where the rubber meets the road. If you are afraid of lower beings, they're here anyway. So lower beings try to scare people out of spirituality, make you see something scary, tell you something to be fearful of. Horror movies, ghost hauntings and all that. So those aren't just Halloween, entertainment. They're actually real. That's why religion in some forms, and the ascended masters and the angels came here, and the aliens came here to teach us about who we are and why we are here, and to act as guides if we choose to work with them, if we choose to raise our consciousness and be open to work with us, because they are our best support against the lower beings. So there are lower beings, some reptilian beings. No mistake that oil comes from extinct dinosaurs. Now, I'm not saying all dinosaurs were evil and bad, but they did terrorize the planet. This is a reptilian race that is in governments, that is warlike, that is violent, that wants to pollute and destroy the world to take it over for themselves, just like in a movie. So those movies are not a mistake either, where there's the good guys and the bad guys, and the good guys are trying to save the world, because that's the fight we're in. Some people think it's who's the president. That's important, and it's important for us to act in a 3D way of voting and protecting our rights and lawsuits, because we live in a physical world. But we also need to understand that the way we've been programmed about how things should be, hoping to just get our insurance lessened a little bit, hoping to just not be ripped off by the mortgage companies, hoping to just be, have our symptoms taken away because we're in pain. Those are half measures, availed us nothing. That's where we are now, because we've been living in a world of half measures. Sometimes, and we can be grateful and hopeful that better governments come in that assist us in cleaning up the planet and making laws that are ethical and actually protect people. But it is time for us all to come together, not just as Americans, but as people of the world, and understand what's happening here. Whether you agree with me or you think it's a fanciful, you think angels are bathroom decorations or fun things to talk about, whether you agree with me or not, I think we can all agree that we would all benefit from a world that is ethical and that is in love. I know a lot of the things I'm talking about might sound strange, or hope they're true, but you don't really know, you haven't seen, and because you're very deeply programmed into the mass grid of unconsciousness for millennia, for generations of fear and illness and war and destruction and poverty and famine. And here we are waking up. That's why your eternal soul chose to come here again. So what is the answer? The answer is for you, this is what I teach, to awaken. It used to be called enlightenment. For you to awaken, to connect to your intuitive and psychic abilities, to get in alignment with your life path, to connect with these guides. And you start by asking and then by listening. So we are coming into a world, and we can do this when we open our hearts, when we come up and open our third eye and observe and understand that it's time for us, that positive change is good, and that it's time for us to wake up to that they are already here. They actually walk among us in physical bodies. The dark ones, the evil ones, and the beings of light. Many politicians have dark entities with them. Many politicians have beings of light around them. Look at Martin Luther King. Look at some of the great people here. Anybody who is here serving the people, who is doing the work, who is not being afraid. I decided not to be afraid. I thought, well, I shouldn't do these videos because I have a political channel, because maybe someone will sue me, or I'll get bad energy, or someone could threaten me. We have to stop being afraid. This is our time to step up and to have courage and to open our hearts to love. They try to pit us against each other. all the children of the light. We are eternal beings, and everything we do in this life matters because it determines where the world is going to. We are, at some point, going to take back our planet and have a planet, I've seen it, that is in balance and harmony, that has no more wars, that has enough for everybody, that has cooperation and wisdom. But that is, we have free will, and that is up to us to open our hearts, to live in our ethic, highest self, to not be afraid, and to step forward and to speak out and to stop polluting the planet. There's no reason we have all these oil prices and people suffering, and there's no reason for it. It's all a facade. It's all a game. People in the future will use bartering more. I understand there's markets and there's financial structures that we need to honor as we shift into a greener, more inclusive, peaceful economy. I understand that. And some of these beings, they're wise beyond they understand where we are now. And we've come a long way technologically, intellectually, scientifically, but not as much ethically. Maybe in some countries, but America is sadly mistrained. Many countries understand, the people know about psychic abilities. They might be on the dark side. They believe in witches. They understand the power of that. When at last we come to the end of the road, which so many people learn through pain, the end of the road as far as thinking that this is sustainable and that we just need to go back to how it used to be and lulled into our complacency, rather than create a world that is by the people and for the people. And we have the power to do that. And we are living through a time. We may not see that in our lifetime, but we will see improvement. So it isn't about one man. It's about all the people, the corporations, and the money that support him and put him there. And the other governments, the dark entities. So we need to understand, and we need to connect with, if we want to make a change. Yes, you can vote. Yes, you can do lawsuits. Yeah, do that. But we also need to change the way we think and our consciousness. That's why there's all this don't woke. Woke isn't about being alert and awake. It's about a shift of consciousness and understanding that we are eternal beings and that we are here to create a better world, and that the aliens are here already assisting us. We don't need to go searching for the spaceship or when we are ready, they will come in a physical form. But we're not, how is that helpful to go, oh yeah, they're here? Before, when they've showed up, they've been attacked. What are we going to shoot them out of the sky? Study them? They're already here. We are them. Some of us. Okay. Thank you for watching my channel. I teach classes. Let's switch. I'm teaching a class on the gift of the empath, how to deal with your emotional sensitivities. So that's a healing class. That's on my website, sibylharmony.com. And please subscribe to my channel. I have other classes coming up. And thank you so much for tuning in. Take care for yourself, your family, and your community. And I am sending you much love.